Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be in the world. We've got 1 minute 40 seconds to the start of Tour of Watopia Stage 2 group run. We're doing the long run, so 15 kilometres tonight, just to get all those lovely double points that we get from Tour of Watopia. John Shaw has just messaged me. He would like to do a progressive run tonight, so I'm quite happy with that. So we'll start at 10 kilometres per hour. Nice and easy, nice and relaxed, staying in zones 1 and 2, but we'll gradually increase the pace as we go, and we'll finish at around about 12k ph, something like that. We'll see where we get to. So there's no heroics, it's not a race, we're not going crazy, just nice and easy. Just get the job done in about an hour and 20 minutes or so, something around about there. I would have thought, isn't it about an hour and 20 minutes if we're going? Yeah, around about there. Hello Tina, hello Daniel from Germany, hello Steve Milne, hello Steve Milne, hello Clive Finnimore, Hello to my wife who's cooking dinner. I've already been out this morning, so my legs are a little bit tired, but that's fine. Good to run on tired legs. Sebastian says nice and easy, good idea. Amy looks like she's running tonight as well. So there's a few people around. So let's get going, and we'll have a nice easy hour and a bit of running. Let's get it done. That will be. Good evening to you, buddy. And we're off. So it's standard Sequoias, I think, tonight. So that means we're going into the forest from the desert. Actually, if we go up by 0.2, we'll get to 12 by 10 kilometres, won't we? So we need to not go quite that quick up. Hang on a second. Let me just think about the maths for 1 second. If anyone else knows the maths of this, we're doing 15 kilometres and we want to end on about 12 kilometres per hour, starting at 10 kilometres an hour. So we need to divide 15 into how many increments do we need? Let me think about that for a second. Tina Beard is doing Wednesday workout later. Her dinner is ready now. My dinner's probably ready now as well, but I'll have to have it heated up later. So if we do the first kilometre at 10, then it's 10.2, then it's 10.4 for the third kilometre, 10.6 fourth, 10.8 for the fifth, and it'll be up to 11 by the fifth kilometre. So that's too much, isn't it? Or we go up to 13. Do you want any thoughts on doing the progression up to 13 kilometres an hour for the last kilometre? Or should we stick it at 12? Let's keep it at 12, shall we? So we need to... Salim's late, apparently. Right, Paul Mortimer has worked out the maths. He says we need to go up 0.2 every 1,500 metres. Rob Harrison says you're making my brain ache. John Shaw says fine, we'll follow you. Okay. Up 0.2 every 1,500 metres. Up 0.2 every 1,500 metres. So every kilometre and a half, we go up 0.2. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, we're already making Rob Harrison's brain ache. Stephen Smith, good evening to you. Jean Bondevold says have fun. He did the long run this morning. Will B says hello. So thanks to Paul Mortimer for working the maths out for us. So that means we'll keep it in zone 2 for most of the time. Jonathan Cost has worked it out as well. Kim Salt, hello.
Nice.
Nice to see you, Kim. We've just been working out maths. Our brains have already fried in the first 2 minutes of the run. Johannes Grimm is with us. Amy Green, Paul Haywood, Rob Harrison, John Shaw, Paul Doyle, Jonathan, Sebastian, Clive. So good group. Victoria says, good luck with sticking to that pace. We'll be fine. We can do that. I can count in 1,500 metres. Yeah, all right. Don't start getting me confused already. Look, we've got Jonathan Cost with us. He knows what he's doing. Jonathan will put us right if we go wrong. But let's just say it's 1 kilometre to go, and then we'll go up 0.2. Yeah, that's true, Kim. The longer the run, the worse maths gets. Yeah, many a long run has been ruined by poor mathematics, trying to get you in at the right time when you're tired, trying to work it out. I decided to go out running this morning. Oh my goodness. It was such a beautiful day when I set off. The sun was out, it was brisk, it was cold, but it was a glorious sunny day when I set off from the house. Well, by the 3rd kilometre, it had clouded over, and by the time I reached the main section of the hills, it was freezing cold. It was cloudy as though it was going to rain. Thankfully it didn't rain, and it was really, really windy. So it was a shame because my lovely, glorious, sunny countryside run turned into a bit of a battle against the elements. But we got it done. So this 15k today, 15k this evening should make 36 kilometres for the day. And that puts me at 50 kilometres for the week so far. So we've got a bit of work to do towards the end of the week to get up over 100k, which is the goal. The goal every week is to be over 100k, unless you've just come off the back of a big long race or something. So 1 kilometre is done, 500 metres, and we'll go up 0.2. Right, Richard is worried about not being able to hold on today. Why not? You'll be alright. Niels Hoffman says hello to Stephen, Johannes, Clive, Jonathan and all. Hello. John Shaw has had 2 rest days, didn't like them at all, but needed. Yeah, sometimes you do need those rest days, that's true. Very true. Yeah, I'm not afraid to take a rest day if I need one, that's for sure. I remember, what was it, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago I only did about 50k for the whole week, or 40k I think it was for the whole week. I just felt like I needed the rest. I can't remember what I was coming off the back of though. It wasn't a race, was it? What did I do? I can't remember why. Oh, I think it was, we did a marathon, didn't we? So we did the 100 miler, and then a week later I did a marathon, and then I did a week of running and I felt really tired, so the week after I did about 40k for the whole week and needed that rest. Rob Harrison says, your last rest day was in 2018. No, it definitely wasn't. John Shaw says congrats on the new 5k PB. Thank you very much. I did take my camera along to that, but I didn't really film very much. But I did take my camera out today, and I've done a little kind of video which I'll kind of blend in the video of my 5k run. So I will do some kind of video. Camera 4 has gone all wide angle again on me. Danny Prid, first run last night on the MyRun treadmill. How on earth is treadmill running this hard? Can never ever seem to get anywhere near my outside paces on one. Well, just get used to the MyRun, Danny, because I find the running on the MyRun, and actually funnily enough the video I made today talks about that, about again the differences between outdoor running and indoor running, and how I think I've managed, because I run so often on this treadmill, I've managed to get used to how it feels, and I've managed to balance outdoor running and indoor running so they do feel about the same. So just keep going at it, Danny, and hopefully it'll come. Richard says his legs are like lead after yesterday. Hello, Be the Tortoise. How are you today? Finally managing to run 10k every Sunday with this 80-20 running. And my goal is now Chamonix in a few years, thanks to your videos. Oh, thank you, Be the Tortoise. Nice one. Yeah, I'm still doing 80-20 now. I've been doing 80-20 now for about 8-10 months. Something like that. Started. So when we came back from Gran Canaria in March last year, just after that, I think it was. It's approaching a year now. It can't be far off a year since I started doing 80-20. And like a significant slowdown in my general running. I really, really slowed it right down. And you can't argue. I mean, maybe I just wasn't making the effort before, I don't know. But new marathon PB, new 5k PB twice now. Hopefully a new half marathon PB at the end of the month. We'll see. Sorry. Oh, 10.2. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention. Sorry. Already gone off the rails. .2 it is. My fault. Apologies. Victoria warned me this would happen. I didn't believe her. Victoria says, I now find intervals much easier on the treadmill than outdoors. Amy says the opposite, outdoors. Oh yeah, no, Amy says the same, outdoors is much harder. Jean says, I have a MyRun. For me, there is no difference between inside and outside running, yes? Same for me, well, very little difference anyway. My goodness, Paul Doyle says, I ran the first half of my marathon in 1:25 on Saturday. And what was your finish time, Paul? How did you do? And where did you run? Which marathon was it? Right, so we've done 2 kilometres now. So we've got about 900 metres to go, and then we'll step it up again. Dorney Lake. Okay, so Paul Doyle, who is running with us tonight, did Dorney Lake Marathon on Saturday and did it in 2:54. Nice one. John Shaw says, my pace indoors versus outdoors is similar on a treadmill. Something about for the hills. I couldn't quite see that. HR is similar outdoors on the flat, says John. Yeah, same for me. Indoors and outdoors, heart rate is pretty similar, indoors and outdoors. And I'll show you that on the video I've done today. There's some interesting stats to show you about indoors and outdoors. Richard Burrow says, yeah, I did a marathon on Zwift yesterday. Wasn't as fast as 2:54, but was 2:58. I don't think you can complain at that though. Still sub 3. Fantastic work, Richard. No wonder your legs are feeling a bit dead. Paul Doyle says, I've done all of my training on Zwift at 0% incline. Nice one. Good work. Steve Milne. I'm finding treadmill running easier and as much as I can run more often because it doesn't impact my muscles and joints as much as outdoors. Yes, very true. If you do a lot of outdoor road running, certainly it's going to impact your muscles more than if you do treadmill running or trail running. Trail running, of course, if you're running on the grass or soft trails, then again, it's not going to hurt your muscles as much. And that's another thing about the 80-20 thing. Basically, because you're running slower, you're not hurting your muscles as much, but you're still getting the physiological benefit of running those long distances. But because you're not so tired, you can do more long distance. Jean is always at 1% incline. Stephen Smith says, a bit of a confusing question, but I want to be able to display Zwift on my TV, but I need an HDMI cable connected to my iPad Pro. Do you know what app to use in order to display Zwift on the TV? Right, I tell you what, Stephen, don't get an app. Buy yourself the Apple HDMI converter. So it's a little white adapter, and the one cable plugs into your iPad, and then there are two ports. One is for an HDMI cable, and one is for another iPhone cable to power your phone, to charge your phone. And you take the HDMI cable out the back of that port and you put it in your TV. That's a much better way. There are plenty of apps that will screencast your phone to your TV, but they're not as good quality, and the latency is an issue. So I wouldn't do that. If I were you, I would. You might need to spend a bit of money, Stephen, but I would buy the proper Apple adapter, HDMI adapter. Look it up on Google. It is about 40 quid. But it's worth it. There are cheaper ones available, and I'm telling you this because I've learned from experience. I bought a cheaper one, and it doesn't work anything like as well as the official Apple HDMI adapter. So yeah, go and get yourself an Apple HDMI adapter. Right, are we going up now to 0.4? Is that right? 10.4? Let's go, 10.4. So we're 3 kilometres in. We've got 12 kilometres left to do. And we're doing a gradual progression. So John Shaw's request for a gradual progressive run today. and we're increasing the pace 0.2 of a kilometre per hour every 1,500 metres. And that will get us to 12 kilometres per hour by the end of the run, by the final kilometre. Yes, Stephen, it will fit all Apple devices. Unless you've got a really old machine. No, your iPad Pro, it will connect to your iPad Pro, fine, no problem. John Shaw says he likes progressions. Yeah, I like progressions too, and so does Victoria. Progressive runs are good. Always, the thing about progressive runs, for those that don't know, it's just a good way to tell your body that you can run faster when you're tired at the end of a run. The ideal way to run, if you can, is to finish faster than you started. And another good little thing I always remember, which is not, you don't have to do this, but it's a good little marker, is make your final kilometre the fastest one of all. So regardless of what you've done in the run, make your final kilometre the last one. The fastest one, rather. And that doesn't include cool down at the end, by the way, if you like to do a cool down at the end. Paul Doyle says, I think a Zwift marathon is harder. Yeah, I certainly found, not to go on about it, I'm going to owe some money for this, but after I did my sub 3 outside, 2 weeks later I did a sub 3 indoors on Zwift, and yeah, it was definitely harder. Definitely harder. Interesting, Paul Doyle says, my cadence on the marathon was the same as indoors. Interesting, my cadence indoors is always lower than my cadence outdoors. Yeah, Johannes is correct. He says if it's harder, I think it's a thing which it depends on which treadmill you use. On my old treadmill, it was similar. Now with my new treadmill bouncing, it's a bit easier. So he uses 1% incline. Not a big difference. Yeah, I think for me, actually it was the opposite way round. The worse the treadmill, so that the poorer quality your treadmill, I think the harder you'll find it. Because your treadmill belt is not so strong, your treadmill motor is not so strong, you'll have to work a lot harder to drag the belt around. If you've got a really good quality treadmill, I think it should feel more like road running. So Paul Doyle's cadence for an indoor marathon and an outdoor marathon was 174 for both. See, I think my outdoor marathon would be a bit higher than that. I'd be looking more 178, 180 for outdoors and about 174 indoors, I think. Definitely less indoors. Richard says, I found it easier but hotter. That's interesting. So I would have thought that if it was hotter, it would feel harder because it would raise your heart rate more. That's one thing I really try and do about running indoors is to make the environment as cool as possible. If you need the fan on, you put the fan on. You open the doors as wide as you possibly can. Get as much airflow around your body while you're running as possible. Okay, Clive. Right, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So Clive says the iPad Pro is USB-C, not Lightning. Interesting. Okay, so surely you should be able to buy an official Apple USB-C adapter, HDMI adapter. So sorry about that, Stephen. I didn't know that. Check on Amazon and make sure you buy the correct adapter. So that apparently for your iPad Pro, it needs to be a USB-C. Yeah, John Shaw says, I can't wait to watch the Wrexham Elite Marathon. That's going to be good. A few people I know doing that. Matt Reese is doing that. Ben Parks will be doing that. So yeah, a couple of other people I think will be doing that. Adam Holland possibly doing it. So yeah, the Wrexham Elite Marathon. I'm not entirely sure what speed you have to be. I think it's sub 2:45 you have to be able to do that one. Yeah, Matt is fast. He'll do really well at that. Ben Parks is coming back from injury, so I'm not sure how well he'll do. Okay, 4 kilometres done. So another 500 metres and we'll bump the speed up again. Mark Mansueto has a rest day today. He says, enjoy your run. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, so Richard says it is always hotter indoors than outside. But he says he finds the belt helps with cadence. Well, I find the belt helps in that you don't have to do quite as much work with your legs. You kind of let the treadmill do some of the work. Not to say it's easier, because as we've discussed, it kind of feels harder on the treadmill, but because you're naturally, or I am naturally letting my legs stretch out a bit more on the treadmill, I have a longer stride length, so more of the belt passes underneath me while I'm in the air. But then again, I suppose if you've got a short stride length, you're doing faster cadence, so the same amount of belt is going to pass underneath, isn't it, anyway? So, I don't know. Right, Stephen has found the correct adapter on Amazon. He's now got to go and earn some money to pay for it. I think you'll find, though, it's worth it, Stephen, rather than casting, because certainly the quality won't be as good and the latency will definitely affect the quality of your image. So get a hardwired connection if you can. I have my iPod here connected up via an HDMI cable. So if I press this button here, you can see as I scroll up and down on the Zwift Companion App and go to the map, see that is pretty much, there's hardly any latency there at all. And I could go out and go to YouTube, if I could find YouTube anywhere. Or maybe I haven't downloaded YouTube on here. No, I can't see it, never mind. Okay, here we go, 0.6 now. So we're at 10.6 kilometers per hour now. So next change will be at 6 kilometers. We are running through the desert. We'll come out the other side of the desert and we'll get about 5 kilometers into the forest before the end of the run. Hopefully we'll see some dinosaurs just as we finish. We might finish just by the dinosaurs actually. Wow, Stephen, now that is harder. So a curved treadmill, a non-motorised curved treadmill will definitely be more difficult to run on. But good luck to you if you want to do that, if you want to go that way. Darren Smith uses a curved one. Guy Aroshas uses a curved treadmill on Zwift. Both of them love it. but it is definitely, they say around 30% harder to run on. And you'll notice they use them in the Super League triathlons as well on Zwift. When you watch them, there was one recently in London and a few months ago in Rotterdam. They all use curved treadmills with the Run Smart treadmill sensor on the back or on the front, measuring the speed. So that's a big kudos to the North Pole Engineering Run Smart treadmill sensor that they are using that for such a prestigious event. They must be able to get it to work very well, because I don't really like it very much, but maybe I just haven't tried hard enough with it. Five kilometers done now. 10k to go, yeah. Nice and comfortable, zone 2 running, so 128 BPM. Heart rate 128. John Shaw says the Run Smart treadmill sensor has been spot on since the latest firmware update. Maybe I should give it another go then with the new firmware. That would be interesting. Salim Adrian says heart rate is 115, but he's not speaking, so that's why it's so low. Clive Finnemore's heart rate is up, 129. Clive's is usually lower. Paul Hayward's is 124. I noticed Jonathan Cost hasn't told us what his is yet. 175. Come on, Jonathan. How are you doing? So we're going through the oasis now. Beautiful waterfall. Lovely greenery. And then we'll come out of the oasis and we'll get into the flower fields. Rob Harrison says, you must all be sat on the couch. Mine is 145. Sebastian Volz is 129 in zone 3. Amy Green says, my heart rate is too high. All that talking actually has just put my heart rate up to 132. Blair Hickman is 150 in the orange zone. John Shaw, 134 BPM. Will B says, I've got the run. It is way more accurate than a foot pod, but definitely not as stable as a smart treadmill. Pace is still jumpy. Yeah, well, it will be, because it is measuring the actual speed of the treadmill belt, which, because you're impacting it all the time, will go up and down, and because the belt warms up and it stretches, the speed of that belt is always going to change marginally. To be honest, you know, a smart treadmill, it's wonderful to have, because it's lovely to have a stable speed and to see your speed in Zwift directly reflected exactly on your treadmill display. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's accurate. You know, it's just convenient. I have no idea really what the actual speed is that I'm running. Well, I do have a bit of an idea, because I've measured the treadmill belt speed using well, I think you all know the method that we use, where we count the number of rotations of the belt, etc. So I do have an idea, and actually it is probably going a little bit quicker than what we're now at, 10.6. But like you say, the fluctuations of the belt, because of your impact on it and because of it heating up and stretching and all sorts of things, it will be fluctuating all the time. Paul Cotterill, hello, how are you?
Right on!
Ellen Pym, thank you very much for the ride on. Okay, heart rate 131. Johannes Grimm is right behind me. Jan Koska is right behind me. Salim is with us. Paul Dawes' heart rate is 101. 101? Show off. 101, look at that. The rest of us are all working hard, Paul. Jojo Johannes Grimm says, I'd love to have a treadmill which compares the incline from Zwift to the treadmill. Yeah, well, they do exist. It's just that Zwift doesn't offer that service yet. Right, 10.8 guys, 10.8. Okay, 10.8 with 9 kilometers left to do. Six kilometers in, 9 to go. Paul, I am not too bad. I went out on the hills and did 21 kilometers this morning. So the legs are feeling it a bit, but I'm not too bad. I'll get through this, no problem. It's just I'll be happy to go to bed tonight. A little bit depressed about the football last night. But you never know with Liverpool. We could easily beat Real Madrid 3-0 at Anfield next week. Or just as easily we could lose 3-0 as well, so who knows?
Right on!
How is everyone feeling? Question mark. Ricky Burrows has joined us, apparently. I thought he was saying it was too hard for him tonight. Richard, were you saying it was too difficult tonight? John Shaw's good. Sebastian is cool. Clive, yeah. Amy is okay. Good stuff. Well done, guys. Keep it going. Salim's got a little bit of tendinitis. Take it easy, Salim, buddy. Paul Haywood is okay. Just saying, Richard Burrows is saying it's too difficult tonight. He says no comment. Oh, there's Richard right at the top from GB Ultras. I see, yes, I see him. Oh yes, you did say actually. You did say your legs were heavy after yesterday. Right, there's around about 45 minutes to go now. So we've done 38 minutes, so we've got 45 or so to go. 46, maybe. So it's important just to stay relaxed at this stage. We're not yet halfway into the run, so we do still have a little way to go. We've just got to stay as comfortable and relaxed as possible. John Shaw says, what's this new race thing in Zwift? Seen it on Facebook and we were testing it. Yes, so starting on the 16th of April is the Zwift Racing League, organised by WTRL, and they do the Zwift Racing League as in cycling. They do the Zwift Triathlon League, so we've now got the Zwift Running League. Starts with individual races on the 16th of April, and then the week after that we do team racing, which is a relay, and the website will be up and running, hopefully we think by tomorrow, where you'll have all the information you need. The new running league starts on April 16th with individual races. We'll stop 1 week later. We will have team races. Individual braces, apparently. You all have to wear braces, no belts are allowed. No belts allowed, braces only. Seven kilometres done, 8 kilometres to go, and we're speeding up in 500 metres from now. Right, Tina Beard has eaten chilli and rice. Jonathan Cost has big internet problems and a sore leg. That's not good, Jonathan. But Jonathan is still there, so fingers crossed you can stay with us for the rest of the run. But don't get yourself injured, Jonathan. Mark says, I'm doing my first 50k ultra in July. Any tips would be great. Mark, is it a road run or is it over the hills? Essentially, your training should be exactly the same as for a marathon. And if it's in July, make sure that your long runs come to an end about 3 weeks before. Do your longest run of about 25 miles, do something like that for your longest run, and just taper as normal as you would for a marathon. If it's a hilly run, if it's over the hills, make sure you get that hill training in. So get out on the hills, do some hill reps, or do some long trail runs. Try and replicate the terrain that you're going to be running in the race as much as possible. Right, Jonathan's going to bow out at 10k because he's got a sore leg. So yeah, best not to aggravate that. Oh, race to the stones. Oh, that'll be lovely. Yeah, quite difficult underfoot, I've heard, especially when it's dry. The ground can be quite rutted when it's dry and stony. So yeah, just get some hill training in, and make sure you don't neglect the downhills as well. So do the uphill training, but also do some downhills. Make sure that your quadriceps are able to handle the pounding of the downhills. Try and be doing, I mean, it depends what speed you want to do it and what time you want to finish. But for a 50k race to the stones, I would say, what, you're looking about 7 hours, 8 hours maybe? if it's going to be a nice easy one or a nice, like, you know, you're not going to gun it all the way, are you? Yeah, just enjoy it. And make sure you practice your nutrition as well. Don't want to be sick 20 miles in with another 10 miles to go. Steve Milne has written a small essay, which I will now read. What are your thoughts on Park Run opening up again? Surely it's going to be a long time before an open event like that can start again. Peterborough used to regularly get 550 to 600 participants. With all the new lockdown runners, 1,000 plus people could turn up when they start again. Yes, so I haven't heard anything about parkrun starting up again anytime soon. I don't know when it's supposed to be starting up, but yeah, I can imagine that when parkrun does start up, there will be a massive influx of people coming to do it. Oh, we should be going up, shouldn't we? 11 kilometers an hour? Sorry. Yeah, we're at 11 kilometers an hour now. Sorry guys, forgot about that. Yeah, there will be a big influx of people doing parkrun. But I think as long as the government are happy, say it's safe, then I'm quite happy for it to go ahead. I mean, I think we have to be led by what the government feel. If the government feel it's okay to do it, then maybe it will be okay. Paul Cottrell's heard June for parkrun. Yeah, you see, by June, well, aren't they reckoning every adult will be vaccinated with at least one vaccine? I think. But we'll find out, won't we? If numbers start going up again in August, then we'll know there's been a problem. My heart rate is 132, cadence is 170. So we have 7 kilometers left to run. And by the time we finish, we'll be up at 12 kilometers per hour. So still nice and comfortable, still staying in zone 2, if we can. Amy Green is not telling us her heart rate. Don't worry, Amy. Doing well. 7k to go, you can do this.
Right on.
Wow, okay, Tina Beard says their junior parkrun starts this Sunday. But can't see how ordinary parkrun can be staged now. Not yet. Not yet. Sebastian is laughing at his own cadence, which is 150. Sebastian has a stride length of about 3 meters long. Victoria says no plans for our junior parkrun to start just yet. So we're approaching the town at the end of the desert. Not long now, and we will get through the town out the back and we'll finish the run in the forest. So the name of this route is Sand and Sequoias. So sand is the desert and sequoias is the trees in the forest. Oh, look how close I am to 7,000 kilometres. 6,955 kilometres done on Zwift. So by the end of this run, it'll be 6,970. So 30 kilometres to go before I hit 7,000 kilometres on Zwift. Quite a few people are catching me up though. Clive is definitely catching me up. Okay, Paul Cottrell has locked it down now. Says Parkrun is officially due to start on Saturday the 5th of June. Jay King from the USA. He's confused by all the metric talk. We will get you Yanks over to the metric system if it kills us. Steve Milne is thinking of staying clear of parkrun until the numbers drop down a bit. Yeah, you might well be right. Richard Burrows, Ricky Burrows, is saying his heart rate is 114. That's what his Garmin is saying anyway. That's decent. That's very decent. Oh no. Camera 4's turned itself off. There we go. Got it back on again. I used to be able to do both, but I now forget how to do the miles. Voice to text is rubbish. To be fair, the UK is still very confused about imperial and metric. Steve Milne says, I've always cycled for many years in miles and only recently switched to metric. Paul Cottrell says, I recently changed from miles to kilometres and was accused of witchcraft. Right, 11.2. Yes, let's go. And in Canada as well, they're confused. Okay, good job everybody. 11.2 kilometres per hour now. 6 kilometres to go. Oh, nice one. So Johannes is doing the Arena Games on Zwift. First race of 2021 for him, and first time doing championship racing on Zwift. Very excited, yeah, nice one. Less than half an hour now. Oh no, Tina. Apparently Debbie Colville has bottled Wednesday workout today. And apparently there are only 3 people now doing Wednesday workout, so Tina is going to cry off as well and do track intervals instead. Well, that'll be just as good, Tina. So yeah, I mean, I've cried it off tonight. Didn't fancy doing a hard interval session tonight. We might try something tomorrow. Yes, Steve. What are you going to do Wednesday workout tonight as well then? Yeah, I thought that, John. Wednesday workout a bit late tonight. Yeah, the Film My Run video 5K is a bit late as well, again on Friday. Steve Mills having a night off. Tina Beard noticed that I'm not doing Wednesday workout. Right, my headphones have just died, so I've got no music now. So I'll probably end up talking more. Put them on to charge at the end. Kansas Iron Man is just here for the double XP. Good job, buddy. No worries, King. Thanks for joining us. So, 10 kilometres is just about done. 5 kilometres left to do. 500 metres before we up the pace again to 11.4. So you can see the trees starting to appear now as we head out of the desert. So Jonathan Costa is off as well. See you later, Jonathan. So 5 kilometres to do now. 2/3 of the way through. Sounds good, doesn't it? 25 minutes left, 26 minutes left. Mark, hello Hello Jason, by the way. Mark says, any plans to do any other long distance runs on Zwift, maybe a 50k? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think the next thing we're doing is probably Everesting. So we're going to climb Everest. So that'll be a long, slow, hardly a run, a very slow jog up a hill. And it'll probably take us about 16 to 18 hours. So that's my next plan anyway. But I don't know when. I've no date in mind for that yet. It'll suddenly come to me. I'll suddenly say, yeah, I'm ready for it now. And I'll set the date. And then it's up to everyone else to decide whether they're going to jump on board as well. Unless somebody else is brave enough to set the date, and then I'll have to decide whether I want to jump on board. So that'll be 9,000, just under 9,000 meters of climb. So if you think every Tuesday morning and every Thursday morning we do the Film My Run 500, and that is a 500 meter climb, and that usually takes us 40 minutes. Rob Harrison is done. Cheers, Rob. And we are speeding up to 11.4 now. Well done, Rob. So 11.4 kilometers per hour. Next change up will be with 3 kilometers to go. Jonathan is flying a Boeing tonight, so fingers crossed. Is it one of these 737 Maxes? You just watch that nose up, Jonathan. Just be careful of the nose up. You'll be all right. I'll talk you through it. If you've ever got any problems with that, Max, I'll talk you through it, because they can be tricky. Niels Hoffman says, do you have any Discord channels to talk to each other in real life? Jonathan says, no, it's not a Max, thank God. Yes, there are Discord channels, but runners, we're not really very good at using Discord. We haven't really embraced it yet. I know the cyclists use Discord quite a lot, but most runners don't tend to use it. We do sometimes use a Zoom call and actually have people on video. We do that on a Friday night, where we have people on video on the Zoom call, and so we can see people running in real life. Right, Jonathan says, this left leg issue is really annoying me now, it's not going away. Rob Harrison says, stretching and exercises have helped me a lot. Sitting down for long periods of time hasn't. Yeah, that might be the issue, really, is long periods of time in the cockpit, sitting down. And mind you, it's the same for people sitting at a desk in an office, isn't it? Although I suppose, I don't know, is it easier in an office to get up and walk around a bit than if you're stuck in the cockpit of an aircraft? 4 kilometres to go, says John. 1 kilometre left before we up the pace again. King is still with us, he's just dropped back a bit, but he's still there. So you can now see we are most definitely in the forest, and hopefully before the end of the run we'll catch some dinosaurs. Well, I don't mean catch them as in net them and cook them for dinner. I just mean catch sight of some dinosaurs. You won't get me chasing the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, Tina says patience, Jonathan. It will come, just with rest. Don't aggravate it too much, and it will settle down. Look, 11.4 at 11.4. 11.4 kilometres an hour, 11.4 kilometres done. Yeah, when we get to 3 kilometres, it'll feel like we're nearly done now. 19 minutes, 18 or 19 minutes to go now. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod like the Zwift Pod or the Stride, but you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. Steve Milne says, I've got to go as the kids think I'm ignoring them. Enjoy the rest of the run. Thanks, Steve. Have a good one. Mark says super challenging. I suppose he's referring to the plan to run Everest. Yeah, it will be tough, which is why I keep putting it off. .2 kilometres is 2 miles. Think of a mile is 1.6 kilometres. So 2 miles, 3.2 kilometres. Well done to King. So I think we're supposed to go up to 11.6 in a second. Just when it hits 3 kilometres to go. Okay, 11.6. I have just realised we are not going to make it to 12 kilometres per hour. Shall we go to 12 kilometres per hour for the last kilometre? Not me. I suggest 12.8 kilometres per hour at 13 and a half and 12 kilometres per hour. Got that all wrong. I suggest 11.8 kilometres per hour at 13 and a half and then 12 kilometres an hour with 1 kilometre remaining. For the final kilometre. Is that okay? So 11.8 at 13 and a half. John Hupperwhite says, you're looking good, guys. Thank you, John. Oh, there's a Brachiosaurus there in the background. Look, we're missing the dinosaurs with all this maths talk. Amy is doing fantastic. Amy, you are doing awesome. Heart rate 131, so heart rate has stabilised for the past 5k or so, 6k. I will expect to see you in Group A for Monday Run Club next week. Group A for Monday Run Club, Amy, next week. Heart rate 133, cadence 166. Clive's heart rate is 137, cadence 170. So 500 metres and we'll go up to 11.8. But we're only going to do 500 metres at 11.8 and the final kilometre we're going to 12. Dinosaurs. Jeff Partridge was going to run with us this evening, but he is too knackered. It's alright, Jeff, you can just look at my rotating body in camera 3. If I put camera 3 on for you, there you go. I'll do some rotating for you. How's that feel? Is that giving you a headache yet? You love it. You love watching me do that. You love it. One mile to go. Right, 11.8, let's do it now. So we'll do 600 metres of 11.8, and then the final kilometre we'll do 12 kilometres per hour. Hi Partridge, I did 21 kilometres this morning, you know. Never mind all this, I'm too knackered. This is now 36 kilometres for the day, this will be for me now. That's nearly a marathon, you know. Bet you've never run a marathon before. I love winding Jeff up. Mind you, he gives as good as he gets. So Jeff, it looks like the Traverse is on in Cornwall. So we're going to be down in Cornwall at the end of May for the Mud Crew Traverse. Lizard Point to Land's End at the end of May. So if you're interested, come and say hello. I'll be live streaming the event. I'm not running it, I am working for Mud Crew. And I'll be live streaming the event. So that should be good. I work for a living, it's just it doesn't really seem like work. Yes, the hills are definitely going to hurt, but I'm thankful I don't have to actually do it, so that's good. So any second now we're going to go up to 12 kilometres an hour for the final kilometre. USB-C, Stephen. So Stephen Smith is asking what USB cable he needs to link his iPad Pro to his TV. You need on your iPad Pro, apparently you have a USB-C connection. Whatever connection it is to charge your iPad Pro should be a USB-C connection. Stephen, if I can look on YouTube, not YouTube, if I look on Amazon, I'll find it for you. And I'll send you the link to Amazon, the Amazon item. Right, 12 kilometres, guys, 12 kilometres an hour. So, 4.5 minutes and we're done. Been a good one. 15 kilometres of sand and sequoias with a good group of people. 8 minutes per mile pace, says John. Amy Green has stuck with it all the way. Amazing work, Amy. And well done to the rest of the guys as well. Good running. Yes, Tyler. We'll see you soon, buddy. Get some good work done on the track, mate, at school. Get some good running in. And we'll see you back faster and stronger next time. Amy says she's knackered. Well, we've all worked a bit, Amy. You've done very well.
I'm toast.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Thank you to John for suggesting the progressive run. Although, I don't think Amy wants to thank you. She was expecting a relaxed 10 kilometres per hour. Yes, Stephen, I'll have a look and I'll send you the link, no worries. See, that was Amy's thinking. Oh yeah, I'll do that 15k with Stephen and the gang. That'll be fine, it'll be nice and easy. Stephen likes to run nice and slowly on these kind of runs. It'll be nice and relaxed. 10 kilometres an hour all the way, 1.5 hours. Good job. Oh dear, we're into yellow zone. Heart rate 140. Yeah, well done everyone. "90 seconds to go. Oh dear, I went into zone 3 momentarily there. Guys, I think we have just been chipped. Coming to the end. Here we go. And we are done. Well done, everybody. Amazing work. Good job, everyone. Thanks for that, everyone. I enjoyed it. Well done, Amy. Good job. Okay, so that's us done. 21k this morning, 15k this afternoon. So that's a decent day's work. We can have a bit of a quieter day tomorrow. Maybe I might do, you know what? Oh no, I've got club run tomorrow night, haven't I? I've got a hill session with the club tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we are doing Film My Run 500. So let's just log into that for tomorrow. So tomorrow morning it's 10:35 again. If you want to join me for the Film My Run 500 metre climb tomorrow. So we'll just put a tick there. So that's that. But that will be my only run on Zwift tomorrow. Tomorrow evening I will be out with the guys and the girls from the running club, the Real World Running Club. So I'll do that tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Friday. And I'm thinking I might quite like to do like a minute on, minute off interval session tomorrow. I might choose something from the workout menu and do a workout session. I don't know if anybody else is interested in doing that tomorrow evening. I know there are various runs to do tomorrow night. Friday night. We'll see. So Friday. Friday evening, I fancy a short session, but like quite hard, like something like a 1 minute on, 1 minute off, fast intervals, like 10 times 1 minute on, 1 minute off, done in 20 minutes, over and done with. Stephen Smith says bye. Stephen, I will look for that link if I try and remember to look for that link. The problem is, Stephen, are you on Facebook? Because have I got your details on Facebook, or can you contact me somehow, and so I can send you the link? Because you always talk to us on YouTube, don't you? So I won't know where to send a link for the right product code. So if you can find a way to get in touch with me on Facebook or email or something like that, then I can send you the link. Okay. So that's me done. Look out for the 500 tomorrow, the Film My Run 500 tomorrow, and then we'll see you again on Friday for something. Take care, everyone. Thanks very much for watching and for commenting and chatting. We had a good old chat there. Miguel says good vibes. Yeah, it was good vibes tonight. Enjoyed that. Amy says thanks, everyone. I couldn't do without your support. Yes, you could, Amy. You are stronger than you think, stronger than you know. Jeff is going to hopefully see us in the morning. And Tyler is going to try and join us for the elevation session in the morning. Okay, so Stephen Smith Facebook is the same. Okay, I'll have a look, Stephen. Okay. Right, take care, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and see you later. Bye-bye.